All right, well, welcome to this training about the Canvas integration with Electud. My name is Tim van Scalenberg. As you can see, I'm the customer trainer and support specialist here at Electud. Next to me, I have David McNulty. David is the customer integration specialist. Hi, David.
I was sorry about that. Hello, how you doing, Tim?
I'm good, thanks. So if you have any in-depth questions about the integration, those questions can go to David, and you can reach out to him at david.mcnulty@electud.com. If you have any questions regarding the Electud system, you can always connect or contact me at support-usa@electud.com. And I will show you later on also where you can create some tickets or how you also can connect with us. All right, let's go through the topics for today. For today, we will do the more introduction part of the Canvas integration. So we're going to show you how to link the Electud Instructor Tool in Canvas, ways to organize your Canvas modules in a subject way and in a timely way, and how to assign Electud lessons to your students by deep linking, and then we'll have some time for a Q&A. If you have any questions in between, please let us know. And if you want to see a little bit more how to organize things under Canvas, please let us know as well. We're more than happy to help, and we have time today. So, all right. So I will switch my screen here quick to the Canvas environment. I assume that most of you already had some experience with Canvas in general. Is that correct? Okay, great.
The answer is yes.
All right, that's helpful. All right, so our admin already set up for me a published course, and in your way, it would be also visible soon, the published course from Electud. So I will log in there. So the first thing I want to show you is how to get an extra tool in here, the Instructor Tool, as we call it, from Electud. This Instructor Tool is like a way to have access to our Electud LMS, that means the Learning Management System, where you can have an overview of the modules, so our lessons and assignments, and of our courses. And I will show you how to set up that link here. So first, you want to click on the settings here. And then you want to go to navigation. And when you scroll down, you will see here a short list for me, but this might be a longer list for you. And probably Electud will be fully on the bottom of your list. So if you can check that out, or it's on the bottom of your list. And we're going to drag this tool to the top of your list if you're going to use it a lot. And now we're going to save this here. All right. So here on the left side of your screen, you see now our Electud Instructor Tool. It looks like it is visible to your students, but this is not the case. It's a little bit confusing here because you see like the no seen signs at announcement, pages, files, and all that. But there should be a no seen sign here behind Electud, but that's not the case for some other reason. But just be aware, this is not visible to your students at all. So that's probably helpful. So they cannot go in the system and try everything out without your knowledge. All right, well, let's click here on this Instructor Tool here. And you see automatically our Electud LMS starts up here. And I guess you already had some training today from Clara and from Darcy about this, I think, right?
Yes, they know where the modules are and courses are.
Perfect.
I think a big thing again to go over is what they're actually picking to link in, because they can get easily lost inside a main course and then a theory course, you know, and so forth.
Right.
And I think also a lot of instructors are building their own self-made courses or just linking one module at a time.
Yeah, no, great, great. And Clara, did you also talk about the support button up here?
We did not. So if you do want to go over that too.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So here on the top of your screen on the LMS, so if Clara already went over the modules, the courses, and the students, we also have a support button here. So if you have any questions regarding the integration or just Electud in general, you can go to the support here. There's a teacher manual as well. And if you have a question for us, you can also click here first on the tickets, then you click here on the plus, and you can create something what is called a ticket. This is the main way how you can contact the customer service where I'm a part of. So you can select a department here, for example, billing or integration. This will go to David. And then you can type in the subject, the message, and you can even like copy the URL, and you can also make a screenshot and update it here. And when you say add, this will be added to your list, and you will see a response of us also in this system. So behind the ticket, there will be a small 1, like the news feature here. That will show up a 1 as well if we reply on this. All right. Any questions so far regarding this tool?
I do have an early question. We haven't quite gotten to this point, but if I could you confirm that quiz scores from Electude will automatically post in the Canvas gradebook? There seems to be some confusion about that.
Yes, they will. And I will show you in a moment how that works. So quizzes and normal modules, this is a little bit confusing maybe. That's something I actually want to point out. So we have something in Canvas, what is called modules, right? And that's not the same as the modules in Electud. So I will use the word assignments or lessons because basically what the modules are in Electud are lessons or assignments in Canvas. So I will use that word not to confuse anybody here. So if we go to the modules page here on the left, so if you click on modules in the menu, this is where we can like organize how we actually offer our courses to the students. So let's start with a module here, and a module in Canvas is you're already experienced with that. It's like how you organize the courses to your students. So let's start one here. And you can do this in multiple ways. You can do this in a timely based. So you can say week 1, week 2, week 3, or you can do it in, by subject, like engine performance. You can do a brake systems, whatever you like. So I will give now an example for in weeks, and this depends for you as a teacher. You can do it in whatever structure you like and what you want to offer to your student. So there's quite a bit of choices you have to make here, but I will use for now week numbers. It's my first one. Let's do another one as well. All right. So the next thing what I want to do and what I want to show you is like how to deep link those courses we have in Electud and how to deep link the lessons or assignments. So you basically have now 2 options. You can deep link a whole course we offer in Electud. I think Clara already went over that, like the course we offer to you. So we organized already a whole system according AZ style you can use, but you can also link single lessons or assignments or quizzes or tests. So for now, I want to show you first how we can link the courses or the sub courses. To do that, behind the first module's name, so in our case now that's week 1, you want to click here on the plus sign. Then you want to say here add, and then you want to go down here, external tool. And then you have a list again here, and you want to search for the Electude tool deep linking. When I click on that Electude tool deep linking, automatically our screen starts up again in your screen as a pop-up. And for now, I wanted to show you how to deep link a course. So let's go here to the courses tab.
Hey, Tim, can you make that bigger so that they realize they can do that?
Yeah, good. Thank you. So here on the right bottom is like, yeah, small corner where you can make it bigger. All right. You're more high school students or college students, teachers? Yeah. College. Okay, great. So let's go to the AST and MEST. We'll go to the master. And you see we have all kind of layers in those courses. So I started with the Master Automobile Service Technology. And let's go into a course here, what is called Safety and Tools. That would be a nice one for week 1. Oh, I will go one layer back. So you see here, we have amount of modules under here, and it says also the duration of this course. So basically the Safety and Tools is a sub-course of the main course, Master Automobile Service Technology. So that is quite a bit to hand out 68 modules at once. So let's make this a little bit smaller and go to a folder under this sub-course Safety and Tools. So let's click on there. You see here, those folders have smaller courses in them, and they consist out of 10 modules here, duration of 7 hours 46 on average. So what I can do now is I can click here on the shop safety and theory. And then you want to look for the select as Lti tool. And this deep links the course with Electud. So what is a deep linking exactly? A deep linking is like you set up a link between 2 different programs, in this case, Canvas and Electud, and they communicate with each other. So if a student goes through the lesson assignment and he fills out all the questions, automatically a score will be kept by Electud and a score will be sent to Canvas. So it's really important to use this Electud tool deep linking and not copy or paste the URL because you need the tool to communicate with those 2 programs. All right, and then you want to click here on Load New Tab. Say Add Item. And we just uploaded our first course here, MESD Shop Safety Theory. Let's publish this. You can do that by clicking here on the publish sign here next to week 1. And now this will be visible to your students. All right, let's do another one, another course. And when I want to add another course, you see automatically the external tool here is already selected. So that will be a little bit faster to work with that. And then you click again here on Electude tool deep linking. And you see my screen starts up here. And my screen just goes back here in Electud where I left. So that's in shop safety and theory. And if I want to go and navigate a layer back, we have something in the software world, what is called and breadcrumbs. So those gray tabs here on the top of my screen, they're called breadcrumbs, and they help you to navigate 1 layer or 2 layers back. So this MESD safety and tools would be 1 layer, and then the Master Automobile Service Technology would be 2 layers. So I will go back 1 layer here. And then let's do the lifting equipment theory.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Just so I can, sorry to bother to cut you off, but just to
no worries.
Because the way we discussed this earlier is, like a textbook. So if you were to scroll, if you can scroll back 1 more.
Sure. Yeah. So let's go to ASD and MEST.
Yep, and you go to if you go to your MAST here, I call it like your library. You're going to your MAST library.
Yep. So I will click on there. Or
And
back to the,
courses below, we call, the easiest way to describe them is a textbook. So when he clicked on Safety and Tools textbook, if you click on that, if you select the select Lti tool here, you're assigning the entire textbook at one time. But then when he clicked on shop safety theory, he was only assigning a chapter.
right. Yeah.
You have the option to do both when you're clicking.
Yeah. Thank you, Clara. Let's do the lifting and equipment theory chapter here. Select as Lti tool. And then make sure that load in a new tab is selected here. Add item. And you see here, when I put this item in here, it's not published yet. You see that here with the no sign. So let's click on there. And now it's published for your students. All right, the next thing I want to show you is like how to do a singular module, how to deep link that a singular module.
Hey, Tim, this is Darcy. Can you,
Hi.
we in the earlier call, I'm not sure if Valentine is on the call yet or not, but when he was going into Electude, he wasn't seeing the select LTI button on his site. What most likely is the problem? Did he not click the deep link tool first, or what would cause the LTI selection tool not to show up?
Yeah, I will show you that in when I want to deep link a singular lesson. And probably that's the case when he wants to. Did he want to deep link a singular lesson?
No, it was a course. He made a self-made course, and he wasn't finding the deep link tool under self-made courses.
That's a good question. Do you know that, David?
I'm not fully understanding where exactly he was. So can you guide us again here?
Yeah, so he built under the Electud tool, or in here, he built his own course, and he couldn't find the select as Lti tool link under his self-made course.
I would have to see it firsthand. I can't imagine why that would be, because that should just show up there. If he was drilling down all the way, like you said, all the way down to the modules, then of course he would have to click through or click on the modules tab to be able to see that load as LTI link. The other thing is that when you build a course, if he did that outside of the integration, then when he launched over to the integration, it only takes him to one group, which would be a course as we see it in Canvas. And he may be in the wrong group, but you would think that in the courses that it would show, when he went to courses, it would show up under his list of courses anyway. But if he's doing, if maybe there's a different user ID or something like that, that might be the problem.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, thank you.
David, I've sent you an email from Val to introduce him to you.
He actually already reached out to me right before your email.
Great.
So we've got something set up.
Right, so he's not
Okay,
on
thank
this
you,
one.
David.
Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
All right, let's now deep link a single module, assignment, we called it, right? So let's go here to week 2, click on the plus sign here. Make sure that we have selected the external tool again. Click on the Electude tool deep linking. There's a couple different ways you can link a module. One way is you go back into your main course here. You click here on Master Automobile Service Technology. Let's select a singular module here in engine repair. Then I have to drill down a little bit further in those chapters. And let's select here the engine block types one. So when I click on there, you don't see the LTI tool yet. So what you have to do here is click on the module, what is underlined, engine block types. This could have another color for you. It depends how your system is set up. In my case, it's red, but this could be also blue or green. It depends how what kind of colors they use in your system. It has to be underlined. So let's click on there.
And I wanted to point out that when he does click on there, it moves him from courses over to modules on the tabs. And so another way would be to click on modules.
Yeah. I'm going to select it as an LTI tool. And let's say I forgot to check this here, the load in a new tab. I can also do this later. I will show you that as well. Let's add this item. You see here, I have now the singular module. And I forgot to make it open in a new tab. The benefit of opening our modules in a new tab is that Electud just works better in a new screen. We experience less bugs in the system when you open it in a new screen, or almost none. And when you run it in the Canvas environment directly, sometimes not everything loads as well. All
It
right.
has to do with the amount of space in the window for our interactive material.
Yeah, right. So let's click here on the snowman, and here we can edit it. Let's say here, load in a new tab, update, and then we just made sure that we can load in a new tab.
And one other thing I want to point out, because I've had people call me about this, is they have forgotten to use that option. And so they told their students to right mouse click on the link and load in a new tab. And all that does is open up another Canvas window and still puts it in the iframe. So you have to do it. You can't ask the students to work around the fact that it's not done.
All right, let's do another module. And your question in the beginning was how to upload a quiz. It's just a similar way of doing this. So you can do plus. Again, select the external tool, click on Electude tool deep linking. And you see here now I'm in modules, but let's go back to courses here. And let's show you really quick how to go one layer back by using those breadcrumbs. I'm back at MESD Engine General Theory, and we just selected the engine block type. So let's do the quiz now. Again, we click here on the word engine block types, and you see we're now in the course tab here. If I click on here, we're switching to the modules tab. I'll click here on select as LTI tool. Load in a new tab. Add item. There we go. So let's publish week 2 for the students. And let's see if we have any questions so far.
Tim, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Now, from here, could you go over to the gradebook real quick?
Yeah.
In Canvas?
Yeah. Let me finish this really quick, and then I'll show you the gradebook.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. All right, anybody else about the deep linking? All right, I'm gonna switch really quick to my screen to a student login. So here in this browser, I logged in as a student. It's the same course I just built for my student. So let's go to the modules here. And you see here, week 1, we deep linked those courses to the student, and week 2, we did singular modules. So how does this look differently? So let's click here on the MESD shop safety theory. And you see here, we have a whole list of shop safety theory. The dark blue ones are because I already went through those modules in a previous webinar. So I already opened that. But you see here, all the modules we handed out in one folder. So when a student clicks on here on the assignment, it will open up automatically for the student. All right.
And since you're in there on the student side, could you go into that quiz and just throw a couple answers at it and then submit it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will do the engine block quiz. So that's the single module. Oh, I already submitted this one. Sorry.
No. Well, then just pop over to the gradebook because then it would show it. I was just curious, because I know a long time ago they said it wouldn't do it, and then this morning they said it would. So I just want to make sure, because to me, other than the internal access through Canvas, the big benefit for a teacher is if they've gone through this, that it actually posts right into the Canvas gradebook, not into an Electude gradebook that we then have to copy over in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. No,
Right.
that's the LTI will launch over, will send the grades over. Tim, this is an opportunity to show them how to remove the attempt, perhaps.
Yeah, sure. Should I finish this quiz here really quick?
Oh,
Just a
different
couple.
quiz, yeah.
It just gives us something to see, though. That's it.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, you hear a mistake? Yep, there we go.
I think you've practiced at this, Tim.
Yes. You're putting pressure on me, David.
Kurt, if I could, I just want to let you know, I've used those quizzes in Electude and they all do transfer over into the gradebook. Everything that you put down that the students have to work on.
Yeah, no, that's great. Because I remember when we were first talking about all this stuff, at the time it wasn't. And so that's a huge benefit as for going through the extra hoops with the integration. And most of the integration side's done from the college the college Canvas administrators, not so much the faculty, right?
Well, if I could just,
There is a I'm sorry, go ahead, Paul.
one of the things I found is you have to keep looking at the gradebook and keep on the students to complete those assignments or those quizzes because sometimes they just don't get around to doing them. And then I've run into a problem before where they started to complete one, they backed out of it, and then they couldn't go back in. So I'd had to remedy that.
I believe we fixed that issue where we changed it to multi-entry single, can't change answers.
That's good.
So we went into the Electud admin console. I'm not sure if you has access to that, but we changed that so that it allows them to go in multiple times. Just in case they, like if an instructor forgot to open up in a new window and it was opening up an iframe and they went to next in Canvas and it took them to the next module or next link in the module of Canvas and left the assignment or the quiz, they wouldn't be able to go back previously. Now we've allowed them to go back.
That's good to hear. The other thing, I just want to emphasize that one more time. You have to keep track of students' progress on those quizzes because, and also any assignments you provide that are going to go into your grade book because a lot of times they'll get a little lax and they won't complete them. And sometimes those could be a major portion of their grade.
Yeah.
A question, how do you change grade values for the Electude assignments?
We can
That
show
would-
you. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a function of Canvas and Tim will work through it. The one thing that you need to be sure of is that if you're going to change a grade value after a student has submitted that grade, you have to go in and remove his attempt. And then there's a way to resync his attempt, put his attempt back in, and that'll correct the thing. So if you took a quiz that was worth 10 points and made it worth 100 points, and he got 9, he's going to show 9 out of 100 until you remove his grade and then put it back in, and it'll go up to 90 out of 100. And so if that's something you're going to do, you want to do it before the students have gone through and gone and submitted anything. So, but Tim will go over that.
Yeah.
And then another question is regarding the integration between Electude and the College Canvas administrator. Is that integration between the two between Electude and the College Canvas administrator and not between Canvas and the faculty, individual faculty?
That's correct. Faculty would probably, a lot of things when it comes to the integration, you absolutely need the Canvas administrator involved. But once they get it installed, if they do it at the account level that or the sub account level that takes care of all future courses, they should not need to mess with it anymore, not need to touch it. But if they do it in the course level, every course, every new term, they will need to communicate to either become the Electud admin also, or communicate to the Electud admin or me that they have installed a new tool that needs to be added to the Electud side.
Okay. And the coupon process for the students when the system is integrated is also again between Electud and the Canvas administrator?
No,
No.
no. I would believe that would be between sales and the whoever is in charge, the department head there.
Okay, so it's going to be between Electud and then the Canvas, the
Electud administrator
on campus. Okay.
And if that, in some cases, I have some Canvas administrators that have become the Electud administrator. They've taken that privilege away from the instructors and taken that on themselves, which is, it's good. And then it's, of course, everybody has to agree on how they want things set up and all of that. And it'd be nice to include the instructors, at least in those decisions.
Yeah, I mean, my question with that would be because like right now we're doing the stuff, we're a California school. And so we've got, that coupon that we're issuing, or however it's actually being done. I'm not using it, so I'm not sure. So if we went integrated, Canvas automatically populates the students into the class, into the cohort, and then the faculty would go in and do what Tim is doing here now, building into the specific content and stuff. That coordination of, Johnny is, coupon number 1, 2, 3, 4 to allow that pass through. Where does that take place? Is that something that the instructor would have to do? Or is that kind of automated behind the scenes saying, okay, we've got, how does that alignment work?
Well, this may be a Clara and Darcy question, because I don't deal too much with the with these vouchers.
We might address that separately then. I don't know how Clara did it with the Southern, but with the Northern, every website administrator. So there's whoever is designated as the website administrator at your school, they would have received a batch of access codes from me at the beginning of the semester. And those are 6-month codes. And the administrator then delegates those access codes to each individual teacher. And then it's up to you, the teacher, to get those codes to your students, either by email or however you communicate. But so you don't have to worry about the enrollment. That's done through Canvas, but you, the teacher, need to have the access codes, which are sent on a spreadsheet, and then you deliver those to your students. Okay. And Clara, if you have other alternate instructions for the Southern California teachers, please chime in.
Yeah, so we did it the same way. There was 12-month vouchers for automotive essentials, and there was 6-month vouchers for the electric drive. All were given to Larry, and we had split them up for each school, depending on how many each school had requested. And then, it was up to the department heads to distribute those out to each instructor based on our students. Because ours was 12 months, if you had a student in, David's class in the fall, and they already activated a voucher, then they did not need another voucher in the spring in Tim's class if they were in that class. So the only time they would need an electric drive voucher was if they were in that specific course, and at each school there would only be one instructor that was teaching electric and hybrid vehicles.
Yeah.
And those vouchers are still there. At most schools, the department heads still probably have a bunch on hand to use for the fall, for the new incoming class.
Yeah, I was just curious how, if we transition to integrated in the future, how much of that automated, but it doesn't sound like that does. But let's say when we get beyond this voucher partnership and the students are having to buy it, if the faculty's got this embedded into their class, those students won't be able to access that content at all. And then they're back to, they would have to be getting that voucher in whatever manner, them directly or through the school, or if we were buying them and issuing them at that point. But it doesn't automate. There's still always going to be that manual handoff of the voucher to the student accessing Electude, whether it's internally or externally.
Yes, that's correct. And,
Okay.
once you guys run out of vouchers at each school from this batch that you guys were given, and you still want to continue using Electud, which we hope you will, but, you can decide to have them purchase it at the bookstore, or
Mhm.
department
Yeah.
can buy it for the students, and then those students just pick it up. It's on your course syllabus, just like you do with a textbook. So
Yeah, and that's how we did it before. I guess my other question is when the students are, if it's an integrated and the students access, they click on that assignment, are they going to get a login prompt? So they logged into Canvas, they click on this quiz, and when it opens that secondary window, are they going to get a prompt at that point to log into Electude to continue, or the system recognizes that they're already approved, already paid?
So the very first time ever that they log in, they will be asked to accept the terms and put in the voucher. And however long that voucher is good for, the system will recognize them for, either it's 1 semester or 2 semesters for them.
Okay.
Sometimes it even goes just a few more weeks into the summer if they're in a summer course, because a 12-month voucher can last, a good amount of months for them. And then the moment the voucher is expired, it will ask them to input a new voucher code.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just trying to learn that part of it. Thank you.
And let me add that just in case there is a direct URL to Electude, you never want to give that to your students. You always want them to click through Canvas to get to Electude, because the way that the ID is created when they click through Canvas is different than when you add them and give them a username and password. So just so you know, the username and passwords are automatically created. They're automatically put into the course when they click on it. All that the instructor has to do is build this content in Canvas for them to click on. When they click on it and complete assignment or begin an assignment, that gets added to the instructor's group as that student is now in the group. And before that, they don't have to be in there at all.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, because I remember that was one of the early discussions with the schools. If they were already up and running external, if they went to integrated, it didn't bring over the stuff. They kind of had to start over or back populate it. So that makes a big sense on, if it's something we consider doing, it's not necessarily beneficial to do it now mid-semester. It'd be better off to launch fresh for the fall.
Absolutely.
So that it's a clean carry. Now, with those students that have, say, an existing history, would they automatically would that history follow them into the integrated because it's still tied to their email and stuff, or is that the history is gone?
The history is not necessarily gone. There's just no way to combine them.
Okay.
But they could, if we allowed them to log in with their old username, they could see what they did there. And there, I'm working on getting a way to have it so that when students go from direct login to here, where it will first ask them if they want to input their username or use their school email address or something like that. I'm working on that, but that's down the road, and we've got a lot of things in the works for what we're upgrading to, and that's kind of low on the totem pole as far as importance.
Yeah. No, understood. And there might not be a lot of need to know that historical coming forward unless they had a class that had some of the same modules, and even then it's beneficial for them to repeat it. So
yes.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to end up having to bail out early. I got to go get a shot. So
good. Congratulations.
Thanks again.
Darcy, are we giving the teachers also a voucher code?
By request, if the teacher needs student access to the platform, they can email me directly, and I'll send some complimentary vouchers for the teachers.
Okay, great. Yeah, that might be useful later on. All right. So is there anything else? Questions so far?
We have
All
about
right.
15 minutes left.
15? Okay, great. So it is important for the students when they are going through a quiz or a normal assignment to say exit quiz or exit module or whatnot. So when you do this, it will actually communicate with Canvas, and it will say that it is completed. So you see here status completed. If they don't say exit assignment or exit module, then the status will be incomplete, what can create issues with Canvas with their score. All right, so I was still here in the
Tim, can you
student,
talk about the cookies thing while I'm thinking about that?
like erasing cookies?
No, then like if the student gets a message where they session expired message.
Or
David.
so there are situations where if students have their cookies blocked, they will get an access denied message, and it simply says access denied, and it looks as though something's broken. And then if there is a reason for that, something is broken, if it's the first student that ever went through and the integration wasn't done properly or something, I don't know, it hangs on to that. Or if they then turn on their cookies, it hangs on to that. So one of the things that is very important is that if they do get that, they do have that problem and it gets corrected, they need to turn on their cookies and then clear their cache. Otherwise, it'll continue to do that. That pretty much covers it, right, Darcy?
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Thanks.
probably the number one support request we get from students is if they can't see content. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you have a student that says, hey, I can't access assignments, says access denied,
Right.
just tell the student to enable their cookies and then clear their cache, and they should be in good shape.
And I actually have a video for removing pop-ups and cookies that I've recorded, and I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to save that.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
But it is important that they turn on that the computer saves the cookies. Otherwise, they will have issues with it. Yeah. All right. So this was my student account here. I will log out here and switch my screens to the instructor environment in Canvas.
And Tim, I'm so sorry, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but I actually have to jump off the call. So I just wanted to let you guys know that for those instructors from Southern California, if you need me for anything or want to do any one-on-one trainings, please email me and we can get those scheduled.
Claire, thank you so much for joining us and
Thank
helping us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I'll be on both the sessions next week. So
We may change the time on the Canvas in the afternoon to 3 o'clock because of other conflicts, but I'll send out an email to confirm that.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. So the next question was like, how does the gradebook look like? So let's go to the grades here. So I'm back again in the instructor view here. And here you have all the grades for the assignments we just opened. So those are the only assignments we opened. So those are not that many yet. And you see here, the FloorJack quiz, we have 10.67 out of 12 points. So that's the only one we finished.
And this icon that's underneath the other assignments are showing that either manual grading needs to be done or it's in progress, depending on if it's a project or a task. If it's a plain old assignment, it's in progress. If it's a task, it may need grading.
Right. So we have a trick so you can find those grades back organized in your assignments tab here. They come all in under new if you open them. And you can organize them under here as well if you would like to. So assignments here helps you to organize your gradebook. So what you could do, you can put a couple other assignments. Let's say you find the quiz is really important to grade. So those are your leading grades, and the tests. You can also create another group here. And we can also do tests. All right. The next thing is a trick, how you can because now you only see under assignments, everything where the students went through, right? So I can only see the assignments I just opened and closed as a student. So if we want to organize this before the students have access to those assignments or lessons, you can go into that as a teacher. To do that, you go first to the modules tab here. And you click here on the top on student view. And for example, you can go to the MSD shop safety theory. So the reason why I asked Darcy or you as a teacher can have a login code or voucher code is sometimes the system will ask you for a voucher code if you're in the student view. That depends a little bit. So let's say I want to put the safety signs in and start the module. And I only have to start the module and close it here on the top. Let's do the same thing with safety signs quiz. Start the module and close it here. Can also do that with the fire safety. So here on the right top is where you can go back. So what we're doing, we're just loading it in the system. All right, let's go back now to our Canvas environment here, leave student view, and go to our assignments tab here. And you see we loaded up a lot of different modules in here. So now we can pre-organize the modules. So let's put this in their quiz. You don't have to do it like me. You can like organize it like however you like. Maybe spell quiz right. Let's do another one. The pre-test, we can put that under test. Depends, or you normally I have a separate folder for that. So let's do that here.
And I'd like to add, what we like to do or recommend is that you keep a group that is for like new imported assignments and keep that at the top. The reason you would do that is if you brought over all of your assignments and then organize them, and then that new group is empty, if anything does get transferred over for whatever reason, maybe editing or something has broken the link between the Electude and that assignment, it will bring over a new assignment. It'll appear to be a duplicate into that group. It'll always land in the topmost group. And at the bottom of the list, if there's more than one, if it's not empty, it'll always land in the bottom of that. And you'll see that a new one came over. And just remember that that new one is not the duplicate, not just a duplicate. It's the one that works. The reason it's bringing over a new one is because something happened with the link or with the assignment that made it so that they aren't linked up, and the old one is the one that needs to be removed. Grades for all the students will come over there, and they will repopulate into that new assignment. And if the grading or the due dates are wrong, you'll need to adjust that accordingly.
All right. So when I go back now to my Gradebook, you will see the result of the organization here. So first of all, you have quite a few columns here. So if I go fully to the right, you see here the columns where we organize everything. So now we have the quizzes, you have the test, the pre-test, and the lesson. So this will average the score for the student for all the quiz modules. So that's actually quite helpful to have this organization here, because this can get quite a long list here. And I assume that you want to fill out the grades of the students by quizzes and by the post-test, and not with a pre-test or with the lessons. But that's up to you as a teacher, how you want to grade, of course. But a lot of teachers like to hand out grades with the quiz and with the test.
And if there's any particular type of gradable item that you don't want to sync over, like pre-tests, you just give that to the students, and if they want to do it, they can do the pre-test, and you're not going to grade it. You could either set that to complete, incomplete, not graded, in Canvas as a function of Canvas, or if all the instructors agree that that's what they want to do, you can set it in Electude that pretests don't come over.
All right. Are there any other questions regarding the assignments, the grades, and the modules? All right.
It appear to be no.
Good. So there's a way to give a grade in different weight if you would like to. Let's say you find the engine, oh, this is the wrong one, but the fire safety really important. You can give it a heavier grade. So let's do that. You click here on the snowman here on the right side, say edit, and you can give it actually more points. Let's say 20. So that's a way to do it, to give it more points. David already mentioned in the beginning, let's say a student already went through this quiz module and you decided afterwards that you want to grade it heavier, or that you want to let it grade multiple points, like more points for this quiz. You can do it afterwards, but then the student basically has to reload his quiz again. So let's say we already did the floor jack quiz, I think, right? We have a grade from that. Yeah, so the first student here already did the floor jack quiz. So let's go back to our assignments. And when we change the weight of this grade here, say we do 30. So we went from 12 to 30. What's going to happen in the gradebook is the student still has 10.67 weight, but now it's out of 30. So it used to be out of 12 or something, but now it's out of 30. And to change this, the student basically has to go back into the quiz. So let's go back to the student view here.
I'm going to interrupt you, Tim. There's actually a way for the instructor to push that through.
Okay.
And let me give you quick guidance. Instead of asking the students, that there was an upgrade that happened recently.
Okay.
So as the instructor, you will go to that module as the instructor, not in view as student. Go ahead and go into that module and go into that quiz.
So I'm in my instructor view. You see how fast it's changed? That's why we have you here, David. All right.
So just remember, it's floor jack quiz. You'll
Yep.
have to know which course it's in if you gave them a whole course. So go back into modules.
It was in the shop safety theory, I think. Or
Maybe
sorry,
lifting. It was lifting.
Yeah. Student view?
No, go in
Okay.
as an instructor. So these links as an instructor, just remember, you use the same links that the students use to do your grading and see how your students and your groups are doing. The Electude instructor only link on the left-hand nav bar is for creating your self-made courses and managing your groups if you have, say, a student drop and you want to kick them out of, want to get them out of your group. So go ahead and launch that as an instructor, and then you'll be able to look at and we'll go remove the attempt and then re-add it. So go ahead. What you'll want to do is click on students. I think I'm going to do this right, and then masked the equipment theory, floor jack, quiz. You'll see the student that did it. You can do a check mark and you can remove his attempt.
You want to delete it?
Yes, and then delete it. So what this does is it'll send over a signal over to Canvas to remove that grade. So now he's no longer showing 12 out of 30. He's showing 0. And now you'll click on the student's name now. And you'll be able to resync it, hit the whirly bob over there on the right. And this will then put the grade back in, and it'll do allowing Canvas to do its calculation and with the grade change. So now that's done. Let's go on back over to the gradebook in Canvas and we can see it.
All right.
Now he's showing 26 out of 30.
So you see, that's quite a bit of work. So we recommend that you load all those grades beforehand in, but you can change it afterwards. Yeah. All right. Dave, is there anything you want to add?
Not at this time. Are there any questions? That's what I have is.
Are there any final questions from folks?
Yeah, I had one just on quizzes. Normally I do my own quizzes, and sometimes I give multiple attempts, you know, that somebody can go in and they go, oh, shucks, I got that wrong. I knew it was that other answer. And if I give them multiple attempts, they have a much better chance of getting the quiz. Now, sometimes the quiz might not be part of the grade. It might be just, you know, to help them get through a module. Is there a way that we can change that so that they do get a multiple attempt?
With quizzes, you're pretty much locked into your attempt without an instructor intervention. So you would need to then go back and, like we showed you, how to remove the attempt individually. And also, you mentioned that you may not grade it, and so for that you would then Tim, that's a good one. Let's go over there and show them how to do complete, incomplete, not graded towards.
Okay.
So go into assignments.
Come back with the quiz. The student has only one attempt to go through the quiz, and if he doesn't meet the criteria, let's say he's 30%, he cannot redo the quiz. You can delete his result. In the same way we just showed you. So you basically delete his whole result and he can start over with a quiz. With the normal lessons and assignments, they can actually reapply for that lesson to improve their score. So that's the difference. Can do
lessons and assignments over and over again. Go ahead and change that quiz to complete, incomplete, if you don't mind.
So I'm going here in the assignments tab, click on edit. You go to more options.
Up there, where's this point? Yep.
Display grade as complete, incomplete.
And let's not count towards final. It'll still apply the points if you don't click that. So go ahead and scroll down and save. And then let's go look at the gradebook, please.
So you have here just a mark that is complete. Check mark that is finished. Yeah, this could be really helpful. Let's say you have task sheets or you don't want to grade the lesson modules at all. You can also do that. Yeah. All right.
Great. Any final questions from anyone else? If I could ask all of the college faculty, if you have additional ideas for more advanced training, if you could put them in the chat or send me an email later, that would be great, because we're thinking about scheduling another training in March for more advanced questions or topics. But if I could ask the Electude team to stay on the call for a moment, I just have to ask you about next week's training. But I'd like to thank the faculty for attending. If you have any questions, if I can be of help, or if Larry can be of help down in Southern California, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you so much for attending, and good luck using Electude. Thank you. So for the Electude team, I already mentioned this to Darcy previously, but for next Friday afternoon's Canvas training, we've been asked by a couple of faculty if we could move it from 2 o'clock Pacific time to 3 o'clock Pacific time, because some of them are teaching 12 to 3. And we also have a webinar. My area, the Advanced Transportation Logistics area, is scheduling a Mobilize tech meeting focusing on the new SAE standards for electric vehicle certification. So that's going to be at 1 o'clock. We had a time issue there. It was actually a wrong date when the summit material went out, and it was publicized as March 26th when it's actually February 26th. So we just found that out yesterday, that there was a misprint. So I apologize for the confusion. But I was going to ask David and Tim if it would be okay for your schedules if we could reschedule to 3 o'clock next Friday. Is that okay? Oh,
and I'll be taking over the meeting.
okay.
I'm a little bit more, Tim is much more professional than I am. I'm hoping that you bear with me and maybe keep me on track if you're there. Maybe Darcy will help me out there.
It's
And
Tim's accent. The accent, lends,
Yeah, I'm Dutch original, so from the Netherlands. That's correct. Yeah.
So that adds a lot of credibility, that European
Yeah.
accent.
oh, I have to try it.
Yeah, I'm trying to fake an English accent. Don't you think that would be more appropriate?
Yeah, great.
I'd get everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for being so flexible for next week. We really appreciate it. And thank you again for doing this. It's really helping the teachers quite a bit. Mike, did you have a question? I see that you're still on. Mike Morrow, did you have a question? Or maybe he doesn't realize he's still on.
He's
No, I'm
buzzed.
good. I got confused by the flyer. I thought both the classes this morning were the same. It was just different times. And then I didn't know it was 4 simultaneous classes. So
Yeah, we were worried about that. The way we structured it was like, is everyone?
yeah, the way it was written, well, maybe it was just me. I probably read through it. So,
It was probably me. I wrote it. So I apologize. Right, we have the basics in the morning and then the Canvas in the afternoon.
Yeah, so it's technically 4 classes, right?
Well, it's actually kind of a repeat. So basics is the same class basically being repeated. So the class you missed this morning will be repeated next Friday.
Okay.
Right, and same thing for Canvas. Today's Canvas class, basically the content will be repeated next.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up. Okay, well, that's good.
And also, we recorded these sessions, so I was given permission to actually post them on our ATL website. So you can always go back and take a look at those as well.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks you for that reminder. But Mike, I apologize for the confusion. Great. Well, Darcy,